the light on in the hallway, just like I always do. Forgot for a second, the silence doesn't belong to you. There's a ghost in the kitchen, a hum in the floor where your boots used to land when you walked through the door. Now the tea's getting cold and the house feels too wide, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I'm reaching for a hand that isn't there, talking to the shadows and the empty air. How do I learn the way you breathe? How do I survive the way you leave? It was a goodbye that felt like home, a soft kind of break, the hardest pill to swallow and the longest ache. You didn't slam the door or scream out my name, you just kissed my forehead and fanned out the flame. It was familiar and quiet, like a Sunday afternoon, but you left me in the dark, and you left me too soon. Yeah, the sweetest part of us is what's cutting me down to the bone, in a goodbye that felt like home. You packed up the pictures, but left the frames on the wall, empty squares of the memories where we had it all. You told me you loved me as you turned the key, like you were just heading out to buy groceries, but the car didn't idle, it just drove away into the gray of a Tuesday with nothing to say. I'm reaching for a hand that isn't there, still caught in the scent of your coat on the chair. How do I unlearn the way you move, with nothing to gain and everything to lose? It was a goodbye that felt like home, a soft kind of break, the hardest pill to swallow and the longest ache. You didn't slam the door or scream out my name, you just kissed my forehead and fanned out the flame. It was familiar and quiet, like a Sunday afternoon, but you left me in the dark, and you left me too soon. Yeah, the sweetest part of us is what's cutting me down to the bone, in a goodbye that felt like home. They say closure is a gift, but it feels like a lie when the person who kills you is the one who says hi, with that look in your eyes like you're sorry but sure. I'd rather you hated me, I'd rather war than this peaceful surrender to see you around, while I'm watching my universe burn to the ground. It was a goodbye that felt like home, a soft kind of break, the hardest pill to swallow and the longest ache. You didn't slam the door or scream out my name, you just kissed my forehead and fanned out the flame. It was familiar and quiet, like a Sunday afternoon, but you left me in the dark, and you left me too soon. Yeah. like home. You closed the curtains on the way out. You always were so thoughtful. Now I'm sitting in the dark, in the house we built, watching you become a stranger. Goodbye, home. Goodbye. The streetlights are humming, a lonely tune, and I'm tracing your name on the dust of the moon. I still leave a space on the right of the couch, with a heavy "I miss you" inside of my mouth. I know that you're gone, and I know it's for best, that you found a new rhythm and a place you can rest. But the logic of moving doesn't reach to the bone when I'm sitting in rooms that feel too much alone. Past the cafe where we had our first fight, the one where we ended up laughing all night. The windows are different, the menu is new, but every square inch is still dripping with you. I'm trying to date, and I'm trying to smile, but I haven't felt me in a very long while. It's like I'm a ghost in a life I don't own, just a collection of memories that you've outgrown. They say that the heart is a muscle that heals, but they don't talk about how the emptiness feels when the scarring is deep and the pulse is so slow, and you're still in love with a ghost from a you in traffic, just 3 cars away. You were singing along to a song I can't play. You look so at peace in the glow of the dash, while my whole universe felt like a crash. You didn't see me, and I'm glad that you didn't, 'cause all of my progress is hidden and timid. to explain why I'm still wearing your ring on a chain round my neck, such a desperate thing. Is it a burden, or is it a lie, to love someone gone with all of my might? Is it a prison, or is it a home, to keep you inside of the seeds that I've sown? I'm not waiting for you to come back to the door, but I'm not gonna lie and say I don't love you no more. And I'm carrying around the heart that still loves you, underneath every sky, whether gray or it's blue. It's a stubborn old thing that won't listen to sense. It's still climbing over the tallest offense, just to catch a small glimpse of the way that we were before every us turned to him and to her. Yeah, the world's moving on, and I'm trying to too, but I'm stuck with a heart that still loves you. It still loves you. In the quiet, in the crowd, when I'm whispering, when I'm loud, I'll find a way to live with the ache. I'll find a way to bend and not break. But for now, I'm just me and a heart that still loves you. I'm still driving the car with a dent in the door from the night that we danced on the grocery store floor. The radio's broken, it's stuck on a hum, but I hear you laughing, the beat of the drum. I've painted the bedroom a different shade, trying to cover the memories we made, but the walls have a way of remembering the sound of your heart beating fast when there's no one around. They told me that distance would dull out the edge, that I'd eventually step back away from the ledge. But time is a liar, it just makes it clear that the person I was is no longer here. I've walked through the fire and I've slept in the snow, but everywhere I arrive I've got nowhere to go, because you were the compass and you were the map, and now I'm just falling through every small gap. I'm not waiting by windows or checking the gate. I've accepted the silence put all of us to its rest. It's a love that stayed with my soul like a stain on a sleeve, the kind of a ghost that refuses to leave. It's the way that I think and the way that I pray, the part of my spirit that you didn't take away. You've got a new life and a new set of keys, but I'm still the forest and you're still the trees. Yeah, the world's moving on and I'm losing control of a love that stayed with my soul. I saw you last April. You looked so serene, like a beautiful picture in a cold magazine. You didn't see me, and I'm glad for the grace of not having to look at that look on your face, the one that says sorry and hope you're okay while you're carrying all of my sunshine away. I'm a library now, full of books you once read, with 1,000 I love yous that never were said. Is it a haunting or is it a gift to feel the whole tectonic plate start to shift every time that I breathe, every time that I blink? You're the very first thing that I'm forced to think. I'm not broken in pieces, I'm broken in two, the half that is me and the half that is you. It's a love that stayed with my soul like a stain on a sleeve, the kind of a ghost that refuses to leave. It's the way that I think and the way that I pray, the part of my spirit that you didn't take away. You've got a new life and a new set of keys, but I'm still the forest and you're still the trees. Yeah, the world's moving on and I'm losing control of a love that stayed with my soul. It stayed with my soul in the way that I walk, in the way that I talk, in the silence between every word. I'm still yours even if you haven't heard. It's okay, I'll carry it for both of us, a love that stayed with my soul. I found that Polaroid tucked in a book, the one where you gave me the "don't leave me" look. The edges are yellow, the colors have bled, just like the things that we should have both said. We had the blueprint, the bricks and the sand, a version of us that was almost so grand. We were just 2 minutes short of the sun, believing the race had been already won. But almost is a heavy, sharp word in the throat, a hole in the bottom of a beautiful boat. We were standing on shore, just a heartbeat away from a light that would never turn back in a grave. We were a house with the windows all painted, a picture of hope that never got tainted by the cold or the wind or the reality of dust. We were built on a maybe and fueled by a must. I still see the outline of what could have been before the owl decided to win. Now I'm just a ghost in a dream that fell through, of our almost happy us and a world without you. We were picking out colors for walls we'd never paint, a sinner's devotion, the patience of a saint. We talked about dogs and a garden out back, while the floorboards beneath us were starting to crack. We ignored the shadows, we ignored the rain, thinking that almost could outrun the pain. But you can't live in a house that's made out of if, falling apart at the edge of the cliff. Yeah, almost is a poison that tastes like a kiss, the ghost of a life that I'm destined to miss. We were standing on shore, just a heartbeat away from the happily ever that didn't quite stay. In a dream that fell through, of our almost happy us and a world without you. Is there a place where the almost all go, where the rivers don't freeze and the flowers still grow, where we're holding each other and laugh at a time when yours and mine still perfectly rhyme? Because here in the real world, the almost is gone, and I'm just a shadow waiting for dawn. In a dream that fell through, of our almost happy us. It was almost enough. just a second too late. Just a twist in our fate. Almost, you were almost there. I'm still cleaning the fingerprints off of the glass, watching the seasons and shadows all pass. There's a dent in the pillow where you used to lay, and a silence so loud it just gets in the way. I found an old ticket stub deep in my coat from that movie we hated, the one that you quoted. I laughed for a second and felt the sharp sting of the ghost of a winter in a broken down spring. They tell me that healing is a matter of miles, but I'm stuck in the distance between our old smiles. I'm replaying the tapes, I'm rewinding the scenes, trying to figure out what forever means. 'Cause I see our love in every memory I hold, in the gray of the morning and the sunset of gold. It's in the way that the coffee tastes bitter and black, and the way that the floorboards are starting to crack. It's a haunting, a blessing, a beautiful lake in every single choice that I'm forced to make. I'm trying to move, but I'm heavy and slow, with a love that won't leave and a heart that won't go. I walk past the park where we carved in our names. Now the bark's growing over and nothing's the same. The bench where we sat is a different shade of blue, but the air still feels heavy with the memory of you. I saw a blue car and my heart skipped a beat. I almost ran out to the middle of the street, but the driver was older, the license was wrong, and I'm back to the verse of this lonely old song. Yeah, they tell me that time is a river that flows, that everyone changes and everyone goes, but I'm standing still on a crumbling shore, still waiting for your key to turn in the door. 'Cause I see our love in every memory I hold, in the gray of the morning and the sunset of gold. It's in the way that the coffee tastes bitter and black, and the way that the floorboards are starting to crack. It's a haunting, a blessing, a beautiful lake in every single choice that I'm forced to make. I'm trying to move, but I'm heavy and slow, with a love that won't leave and a heart that won't go. Is there a room in the back of my mind where the clocks don't move and the stars are aligned, where I'm not a stranger and you're not a ghost, where we're still the people we love the most? 'Cause here in the real world the colors are dim, and I'm drowning in you while I'm trying to swim. Yeah, I see our love in every memory I hold, in the gray of the morning and the sunset of gold. It's in the way that the coffee heart that won't go. In every memory, I find a piece of us. In the light and the dust, I'm still seeing you. I'm still seeing us in every single one. Looking at the cracks in the ceiling tonight, mapping the battles we fought in the light. The raised voices, the slamming of doors, the I hate yous that echoed across these floors. We let the bitterness grow like a vine, choking the yours and the mine into thine. I thought we were ashes, I thought we were dust, buried under the weight of a broken trust. Then I saw you in the kitchen at dawn, with that look in your eyes like the fire wasn't gone. You didn't say sorry, you just reached for my hand, and for a second I felt like I finally could stand. We're covered in scars, we're a mess of a pair, with gray in our hearts and a chill in the air. But the foundation held when the storm pulled the roof, and our survival is the only proof. It's not a fairy tale, it's a war zone of grace. It's the tears that I'm wiping away from your face. And I'm tired of running, I'm tired of the fight. Let's just sit in the wreckage and hold on tight. Oh, it's a beautiful thorn, a jagged refrain, the anthem of lovers who walk through the rain. It's the stay with me whispered when we wanted to leave, the only miracle I still believe. We're broken and battered, we're weary and stained, but look at the garden that grew from the drain. It's a different kind of holy, a different kind of vain, our love that survived the pain. Yeah, it survived the pain. I remember the nights I slept on the floor, thinking I couldn't take 1 minute more. But the memory of how you look when you sleep was a promise I found that I had to keep. We're not the same people who started this race. Time carved a map on the lines of your face, but I'd rather be bleeding and here by your side than living a life where I've nothing to hide. It's the start that took us 3 years to say. It's the pride that we finally threw all away. It's the blood on the knuckles, the salt on the tongue, the hardest won battle since we were both young. We didn't break, no, we didn't just fold. We're the silver that's forged in a fire's It's not pretty, it's not clean, it's the messiest thing I have ever seen. But I wouldn't trade a single scar, because they're the only things that tell me where we are. Still here, still us, in the rust, our love that survived. I'm standing at the station where the tracks all turn to rust, looking for a version of us that didn't turn to dust. We had the suitcases packed and the maps all spread out wide, with a million could-be secrets tucked away inside. The engine was humming, the steam was rising high, and for one golden minute we owned the entire sky. I could feel your pulse against the palm of my hand, like a heartbeat rhythm from a far-off promised land. But the clock on the tower struck a heavy, hollow chime, and I watched your eyes change for the very last time. It wasn't a scream, and it wasn't a fight, just a slow motion dimming of a Saturday light. You took a step back, I took a breath in, and that's where the almost began to begin. The conductor called out, but the air turned to stone, and I realized I'd be taking that journey alone. And they say that a miss is as good as a mile, but there's a ghost in the hallway that wears your old smile. I'm a book with the last chapter torn from the spine, stuck on the moment when you were still mine. Oh, I'm haunted by the day we almost made it, by the colors of a dream before they finally faded. We were inches from the border, we were seconds from the edge. Now I'm living in the shadow of this beautiful mess. It's the almost that kills me, the nearly that stings, the weight of the silence that a maybe brings. We were standing on the threshold, we were so close to the light, on the day we almost made it, before we hit the night. Yeah, the day we almost made it. I passed by that house with the wraparound porch, the one we were gonna buy with a metaphorical torch. I saw a for sale sign swinging low in the breeze, and it brought me right back to my shaking knees. I wonder if you ever drive by that station, the whistle blew low, and I'm still standing there with nowhere to go. So close, so near, the hardest goodbye I'll ever hear. The day we almost made it. I'm standing in the doorway where the paint is starting to peel, trying to remember how hello used to feel. Before the words got heavy and the air got thin, before we let the winter of the silence in. I found your old keychain in the couch today, just a little piece of metal that you threw away. But to me it's an anchor, it's a weight in my hand, in a house built of water and a heart built of sand. Got a radio playing something low, a melody that sounds like the places we'd go when we thought we were giants, when we thought we would go, before we grew bitter and before we grew old. I'm checking the mailbox for a letter or a sign, but all I find is paper and a waste of my time, while the sun sets behind the silhouette of the trees, and I'm left here shaking on my tired knees. We didn't go out in a blaze or a spark, we just drifted like ships in the middle of the dark. No one was screaming and no one was wrong, we just forgot how to sing the same song. And I'm haunted by the memory of our goodbyes, the I'm sorry that lived in the corners of your eyes. It wasn't a moment, it was a slow, steady leak, until the foundation was too hollow and weak. Now I'm tracing the shadows where you used to sleep, keeping the promises that you couldn't keep. Yeah, the world's moving on, but I'm paralyzed by the memory of our goodbyes. I saw your sister at the market last week. She looked at the floor when she started to speak. She asked how I'm doing, I lied and said fine, while I stared at the space where your hand used to join mine. It's a special kind of lonely, it's a specific kind of ache, to watch your whole future start to bend and then break, and realize the person who knows you the best is the one putting all of your memory to rest. Was it the Tuesday we stopped holding hands, or the Friday we gave up on all of our plans? Was it the morning you didn't pour me a cup, or the evening we finally just gave it all up? I'm replaying the tape, I'm rewinding the years, filtering the truth through the valley of tears. And I'm haunted by the memory of our goodbyes, the I'm sorry that lived in the corners of your eyes. It wasn't a moment, it was a slow, steady a sweater, like a change in the weather. I thought we'd be better, but the goodbye is all that I have left of you. I'm still saying it, goodbye. Goodbye. The sheets are still wrinkled on your side of the bed, like a map of a country that's already dead. I reach out at midnight, my fingers find air, and I'm tangled in shadows that shouldn't be there. I still buy the tea that you liked in the fall. Let the steam hit my face as I stare at the wall. It's funny how objects outlive every spark, while I'm just a candle blown out in the dark. There's a ghost in the hallway, a shift in the light, a scent of your perfume that haunts me tonight. I'm walking in circles, I'm checking the locks, while our forever sits cold in a cardboard box. I remember the kitchen, the light on the floor, when you danced in my arms and you asked me for more. Now the music has stopped and the record is warped, and I'm just a soldier who's lost every fort. It's a physical ache, it's a hole in my chest, a hunger for something that's been laid to rest. And I'm trying to learn how to live in my skin without feeling the places where your touch begins. Oh, I'm haunted by the memory of how we once felt, like a winter in April beginning to melt. For one split second, my heart skipped a beat, but the driver was smiling at someone not you, and the sky turned a shade of a violent blue. I'm a stranger to mirrors, I don't know this face. It's a hollowed out version, a cold empty space where you used to plant kisses and tell me I'm home. Now I'm just a statue made out of stone. I can still feel your hand in the palm of my own, like a phantom making. I'm chilled to the bone. I'd give up my vision, I'd give up my speech for one second of us that is out of my reach. Come back for a moment, just press to my side. There's nowhere for this kind of hunger to hide. Haunted by the memory of how we once felt, like a winter anchor beginning to melt. The ghost of your fingers, the brush of your skin is the only religion I still believe in. They say it gets easier, give it some time, but forgetting your heartbeat feels like a crime. I'm a prisoner of used to, a soul out of clutch, drowning deep in the memory of our It's the way your thumb traced the line of my wrist, the one part of living I haven't quite missed, because it stays, yeah, it stays like a burn on my heart through the rest of my days. Just the memory of our touch. I found a map tucked inside a kitchen drawer, with a red ink circle on a distant shore. It was the house we'd buy when the world was kind, before the storms left our vision blind. The ink is bright, but the paper is torn, like a promise made before it was worn by the heavy rain and the winter frost. by the million ways we both got lost. Do you remember the night on the gallery floor? We didn't have much, but we wanted more. We drank cheap wine and we named our sons, and we swore we'd be the lucky ones. I can still see the spark in your tired eyes, reflecting a future of summer skies. We were architects of a beautiful dream, building a bridge over a rising stream. We had the blueprint, we had the light, we were the fire in the middle of the night. But the ground shifted under our feet, and the victory turned into a slow retreat. It's the way we once held hope, like a fragile bird, the sweetest song that I ever heard before the wings broke and the music died, and we ran out of places to run and hide. I'm looking at the ruins of the used to be, at the ghost of the version of you and me, who believed in a world that would never go gray, in the way we held hope before it slipped away. Now the map is just a piece of paper and ink, and I'm standing on the very edge of the brink, wondering when the maybe turned into no, and when the stay turned into go. I passed that house with the red ink mark, and I saw a family playing in the park, and for a second I thought I saw your face in the light of a life we can't replace. We weren't naive, we were just brave, giving everything we had to save a tiny spark from a dying sun, but the damage was already done. We held it so tight that we crushed the bone. Now I'm standing here entirely alone, with the memory of the weight, with the bitterness of It's the way we once held hope, like a fragile bird, the sweetest song that I ever heard before the wings broke and the music died, and we ran out of places to run and hide. I'm looking at the ruins of the used to be, at the ghost of the version of you and me, who believed in a world that would never go gray, in the way we held hope before it slipped away. The way we held hope. It was so bright, wasn't it? It was so real for a minute. But the bird has flown, and the seeds weren't sown, and I'm just walking home.